Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the Corrasion, the new 2-round heavy burst pulse rifle that released recently in the Echoes Act 2. You can get it from the battlegrounds, but I recommend doing the breach executable as it's the fastest activity. It takes about 8 to 9 minutes, and you can open up the random echo weapons at the failsafe fender in the helm, and that is probably your best way to get red borders towards the Corrasion, or just rolls in general. The role today that I'm going to be using, that I personally think is best in PvE, is going to be Enlightened Action, so that dealing any damage is going to give you increased handling and reload speed, as well as Bolt Shot, so that every time you reload after a kill, you're going to apply Jolt to targets that you shoot. Jolt is going to stun overload champions, so this pairs very well with the pulse rifle, considering there's anti-barrier pulse rifle, so you can immediately stun 2 sets of champions without too much thought or effort. Now, the first setup we're going to look at is on the Hunter using the Arc class, and we're going to be using the exotic Bombardiers. Now, the Bombardiers, when you're using an Arc subclass, is going to cause a blinding explosion with the little Samus ball that it leaves behind, if you're a Nintendo fan. Now, blind stuns unstoppable champions, so this is going to be your way to stun unstoppables, so that there's now 3 ways to stun all 3 champions. Your pulse rifle for anti-barrier, jolt for overloads, and blinding for unstoppables. Keep this in mind throughout the whole build, as we're going to be using this on all 3 classes. For aspects on the Hunter, we're going to use Ascension and Flow State. Ascension is going to start us off getting amplified, and Flow State is going to make our class ability recharge faster while we're amplified. So you can use Ascension to start this off, but then spam your regular dodge to spawn the Samus ball that blinds targets from Bombardiers. Focusing on artifact perks, we're going to use Logic Reductor so that when we get multi-kills with the pulse rifle, it's going to increase the damage from the little Vex pool that it spawns and extend the duration, as well as overcharged armory, so that when we're using the weapons with Radiolaria Transposer, they're overcharged, and any activities where overcharged is active, and of course this is a weapon with Radiolaria. On the Titan, we're going to be using Precious Scars, so that any arc weapon final blows are going to create a burst of healing and give you restoration for you and your allies. Now, the fragments are going to be the same across all 3 builds that I'm going to show today. The first one's going to be Spark of Beacons, so that while you're amplified, your special or heavy weapon arc final blows are going to cause a blinding explosion. We're also going to use Spark of Brilliance, where when you defeat a blinded target with a precision kill, it's going to create another blinding explosion. Now, you can do this with the pulse rifle, so that when anything is blinded and you get a precision kill, it'll stun an unstoppable in the area. Your jolt will stun an overload, and your anti-barrier pulse will stun barrier champs. We're also going to use Flashbang Grenade in combination with Spark of Shock, so that you can blind and jolt targets with your grenade, as well as Spark of Instinct, so that if your shield gets broken, you're going to release a jolt burst that's going to jolt everything around you. Now on the Warlock, we're going to be using Vesper of Radius, which states when you cast your Rift, it's going to release shockwaves that damage targets, and when you're on a full arc subclass, it's going to jolt and blind targets. Now this works perfectly in combination with the pulse rifle to stun all 3 types of champions, if you plug in the fragments that we just talked about, making this pulse rifle an absolute must-have right now in Destiny 2. When it comes to Crucible, I tried it with High Ground, but I personally am not the best at PvP, so it didn't really feel the best in my hand, so I don't think I'm the guy to come to for that. But if you guys wanted to see me review some PvP weapons anyways, just let me know down in the comments. I don't mind doing that as well, just showing my terrible skills on screen. But anyways, I've been Canadian Chronic. If you guys like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and share this video out. Hit the bell for notifications so that you get notified when videos like this go up. And if not, it's time for an egg sandwich.